Why do I get hungry so quickly? And what to do to stop it? Hi, I'm an endocrinologist, a diabetes specialist, and my name is Ahmed Ergin, a physician working in Florida. We have all been there, right? You've finished a delicious meal, you feel stuffed, only to find yourself hungry again just a short while later. Meanwhile, your friends can go hours without eating and not even talking about it. Sound familiar? Well, don't worry about it. You're not alone. The truth is, we are all different when it comes to how quickly we actually feel hungry. Some people can go for hours without eating, right? While others, like myself, seem to have a never-ending stomach. But I still fast. How do I do that? Tell you in a second. But why is that to begin with? Is there something wrong with us? Are we just greedy? Well, let's dive into the science behind hunger and let's find out. The science of hunger. Hunger is a really complex process that involves many different hormones and signals and pathways in our body. So it's not just a simple case of an empty stomach triggering hunger. There are many factors at play. One of the key hormones involved in hunger is called ghrelin. Now, I'm not trying to give you an endocrinology lesson here, but you should have an idea about these hormones. Now, ghrelin is produced by the stomach and acts on the brain to stimulate appetite. So if you have high levels of ghrelin, you are more likely to feel hungry. But here's the catch. Different people have different levels of ghrelin. Some people naturally have high levels and they're hungry all the time, while others have low levels. Like my 3-year-old probably has no ghrelin because he never eats. Well, this means that those with higher ghrelin may feel hungry more frequently than those with lower levels. Now, what about the GLP-1 agents? We call them incretins. And leptin. Let's talk about these other key players in our hunger game. Now, GLP-1 or incretins and leptins, they're interesting. So GLP-1, for example, is also called glucagon-like peptide. In the same group of incretins are types of hormones that are released only by the gut after eating. They essentially tell your brain, hey, you got food, no need to look for more. They are like the good friends who stop you from devouring the whole buffet. But on the other hand, we have leptin, often nicknamed the satiety hormone. This hormone is produced by your fat cells. And its job is to tell your brain, guess what? You're fat. Just kidding. And saying that you're full. Your fat cells are full. Enough with the eating, right? Well, people with healthy levels of leptin, they will feel satisfied more quickly and they will stay full longer. It's almost like having a strict bouncer at your stomach club saying, no more food, we are at full capacity. So if you are feeling hungry more often, it may be because your GLP-1 and leptin levels are on the lower side or you're developing resistance to GLP-1 and the leptin. Because if you develop resistance, even if you have enough levels, it will not be enough for you, right? Again, it's not about being greedy. It is just your body following its unique rhythm. So we have to embrace it and understand these hormones and see how we can trick them. Let's have a quick look at some medications that mimic the actions of these GLP-1 hormones that have been very popular. Ozempic, Mounjaro, Wegovy, and Zepbound. Now, you may be wondering, if GLP-1 and incretins are so good at curbing the hunger, why don't we just take more of them? Well, after all, medications like Ozempic, Mounjaro, Wegovy, and Zepbound, they contain super high levels of GLP-1 to help manage the diabetes or obesity and so forth. But here's the catch. It may not be as straightforward as it seems. While these medications can definitely help control the hunger, and they do, and people lose a lot of weight on them and improve the blood sugar levels too, they are not without their drawbacks, and most people ignore them. So human body is marvelously complex system, right? When we introduce an element that is not naturally produced in those high quantities, it can sometimes throw things off balance. Now, overuse of these medications can lead to a range of side effects, right? It could be nausea, some people vomit, getting dehydrated, kidney failure, diarrhea, which can also lead to kidney failure, electrolyte disturbances. But there are a lot of other long-term risks as well. For example, certain types of cancer, especially reported a lot in animals. Why? Because when you flood your body with external hormones, it can overstimulate the cells, certain cells, that were not intended to, and leading to uncontrolled growth. So while it may be tempting to turn to these medications for a quick fix of these hormones, it is important to remember their potential side effects and risks. Now, the crux of the matter is there is no shortcut to health. It is about balance, a balanced diet, balanced hormones, and balanced lifestyle. And if you need help achieving this balance, it's always best to consult with your doctor. So next time your hunger hits you hard, remember, it's not about being greedy, it's about balance. Now let's talk about leptin resistance and obesity a little more. It gets a little tricky here, right? Sometimes your body's signals don't work the way they're supposed to. Now picture our friend Leptin at the door of the stomach club, but the music is so loud that no one can hear him saying, "We are full." That is what we call leptin resistance. There's actually a genetic syndrome that causes that. Leptin resistance is a condition where your brain does not properly respond to the hormone signals. Remember how leptin tells your brain that, hey, we have enough fat in our body, we don't need to eat anymore or stop eating? Well, because of the leptin resistance, that message does not get through. Same thing with GLP-1 or incretin hormones. It is like those text messages you send to your friend that always seem to get lost in their inbox. So what happens next? You guess it right. Keep eating because your brain thinks that you're still hungry. This can lead to overeating and eventually weight gain and obesity. Another factor that influences our hunger is our metabolism. Our metabolism is responsible for converting food into energy, right? And we have a resting metabolism as well, which is the biggest part of our energy expenditure. And different people have different metabolic rates. So some people have a faster metabolism, which means that they burn through their food quicker, leading to hunger more often. On the other hand, some people may have slower metabolism, and they may not be eating much, but they will still gain weight, although they are not hungry all the time. Let's not ignore the role of genetics. To make things even more complicated, genetics really play a huge role, a complicated role, in how quickly we feel hungry. Studies have shown that some people may have genetic variations that impact their hunger levels and appetite control. For example, a study published in the Journal of Obesity found that certain genes may influence how much food we eat at individual meals. When are you satisfied? Right? Some people eat very little and they're done. Some people eat the whole thing. That's because of these differences in satiety and hunger between individuals due to genetic factors. So if you're someone who feels hungry more often than others, it may simply be due to your genetic makeup. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? As long as you burn the calories and as long as you're not gaining too much weight, you're eating more, you're hungry more, that's okay. As long as you burn them off. Now, other factors that influence the hunger, aside from the hormones and genetics, there may be some other factors that can influence how quickly we feel hungry, and these include, for example, that's no-brainer, activity level, right? So people who are more active may feel hungrier because their body is just burning through the energy. That's simple as that, right? But sleep is huge too. Like, for example, if you're not having enough sleep or if you have lack of sleep, it will disrupt your hormones involved in the hunger and satiety, leading to an increase in the appetite. Stress. A lot of people are stress eaters, and chronic stress can also affect the hormone levels too, and that lead to increased feelings of hunger, and eating food will make you feel better, and that becomes a vicious cycle. So the bottom line, in conclusion, there isn't just one simple answer to why some people feel hungry more quickly than the others. It's a complex interplay between hormones, the genetic, lifestyle factors, and so forth. Indeed, sometimes it is all about playing mind games with your own body. And if you know these factors, then you know how to play the game. You may need to muster up some willpower and say no to that extra cookie or slice of pizza, even when your hormones are screaming, "Feed me," because they're lying to you. This could mean setting regular meal times, not skipping meals, eating small meals unless you're intermittent fasting, and opting for healthy snacks if you have to have snacks, but not having snacks is actually a better option. Drinking plenty of water can be a neat trick to curb your appetite. Just don't intoxicate yourself. Sometimes people drink so much water that their sodium level goes down. So next time your stomach throws a tantrum, you can kindly tell to your stomach Sit down and be quiet, because you, my friend, are in control, not your stomach or your hormones. Remember, it is not always about how much you eat, but what and when you eat. So let's choose wisely and trick our bodies into thinking that it is full, or we are full. Not with more food, but with the right food at the right time. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, share, and like this video, and write a comment, and let me know what you think.